know we need them.
Boy, do we need them.
Yeah, we need them. We need those strategies. Those strategies for living, that is. Are you ready? You're ready for your daily dose. Your daily dose of Radio Rehab.
I'm ready.
Okay, well, here we are. Hey, folks, welcome. Welcome into 101.7 FM and 710 Keel. Welcome into another edition of Strategies for Living. I'm Dr. David McMillan, and she is psychotherapist, PLPC Leon McMillan. And we are delighted that you have joined us here for Strategies for Living today. Let me ask you a question, Lauren.
Okay.
How much is it worth to you to have more happiness?
That's pretty priceless.
Okay.
I'd say.
How about if I throw in more peace of mind?
That's truly priceless.
Is
I'll
that
tell you.
okay?
Yeah.
Well, then I got you.
Okay.
We're going to talk today about some strategies because we're strategies for living, right? So we're going to talk about some strategies for more happiness and peace of mind. I was, I kind of have my regular articles that I scan.
Right.
And I like Mark and Angel Hack Life, the Chernoffs.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember.
And I recently found an article where they were talking about the essential things to start doing. So these are things we're going to talk about this evening that we all need to start doing. In other words, strategies for more happiness and peace of mind. Because as we move through, the next days and weeks, I mean, we can do things, and it's not an instant thing. We need to make habits, right?
Right. Little things so often make a huge difference.
Right. And it's been said that roughly 66 days is what it takes to form, on average, a habit.
Yeah.
And so we're going to talk about forming some habits this evening here on Strategies for Living.
Sounds good. That's the basis of everything, right?
I think that's maybe
basis of living.
Maybe what
Starts
we're
with
all
some
about.
habits.
And we're the American dream is all about the pursuit of happiness, right?
Absolutely.
So we're going to be pursuing some happiness this evening here on Strategies for Living. Hey, folks, thank you for tuning in and joining us here on Strategies, and we appreciate you being with us, and we appreciate our sponsors making it all possible. The Robinson Film Center, and Azalea Cleaners, and Learning RX, and Pintail Roofing, Empress Cannabis with Love, and the Shreveport Little Theater. Strategies. We're talking strategies this evening for more happiness and peace of mind. That's on taps this evening right here on Strategies for Living. Come back and join us.
Hi, this is Jay Merle for Pintail Roofing. Let's talk about quality. When you hire Pintail to build your roof, here's what you can expect. Quality and quality control are the most important concerns for us at Pintail, and you need to know that Pintail stands tall with swift and professional performance on any warranty call. This is our most important policy. And remember, we're your neighbors. We'll be here for you for the long haul. Our family's lived here for over 100 years, and we aren't going anywhere. On the commercial side of Pintail's business, our fluid-applied roofing solutions can save thousands of dollars over conventional commercial roofing options. Call Pintail at 226-ROOF for a free inspection of your home or commercial building. That's 226-7663. Pintail Roofing. What's the condition of your roof?
And welcome into Strategies for Living here on 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Lauren Leon McMillan and David McMillan. And we're talking this evening about strategies. Well, of course, for strategies for living.
I would hope so.
So we're talking strategies if you want more happiness. And show of hands, how many want more happiness? And how about this? Show of hands, how many want more peace of mind? A lot of hands went up out there.
Yeah.
All right, so if you want more happiness and peace of mind, well, we've got you covered this evening here on Strategies for Living. You know, we were talking, setting the stage for this, Lauren. It takes, people say, about 66 days
Yeah.
to form a habit on average. So if I'm doing the math right, that's about 9.5 weeks.
Right.
Right? So what we want to do is tune in, you know, very consciously to the things that we're talking about. And you can pick, you know, you can pick one of them, you can pick several of them, whatever you want. We're going to give as many of them as we can get in an hour this evening.
Yeah, but don't, you know, I would encourage folks to focus on one thing at a time, right?
Yeah, but it's about leveraging. It's about leveraging action and behavior.
Yeah, and I mean, we have this idea that, you know, to get better at anything requires practice, right?
Right.
And I've kind of been playing with the idea recently that we're never not practicing.
We're never
not practicing.
Yeah.
So anything that we practice, we get better at. So, you know, just to bring that to conscious awareness, you know, everything you do on a day-to-day basis is comprised of habits and patterns, right?
Right.
And just know that as you continue to do that, you're getting better at that. Now, whether you're getting better at procrastination or, you know, playing the piano is based on what you are doing. What you're putting your practicing into.
Where's your attention? Where's your focus?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we're never not practicing.
That's a good point.
Becoming who we are, practicing our little habits, which create who we are behaviorally, right?
I think that's a very, very good point. And
so if we can add anything towards, you know, with consciousness, with a conscious decision towards more of what we want, that's called conscious creation, right?
Absolutely. I like it. And, you know, a lot of things they really start with the simple things, right?
Yeah.
And
You'd be
so,
amazed.
you know, the first one we're going to talk about is actually, we all have rituals in our lives.
Yes, we do. We
All
are
right. Now,
creatures of habit.
We may not be conscious of how many we have. I mean, like for me, a ritual is when the alarm rings in the morning.
Yep.
I get up and I get in the shower. And as soon as I get into the shower, as soon as I get out of the shower, I'm in the kitchen making my first cup of coffee.
Right.
And I love my ritual of my morning shower. It kind of gets the cobwebs out.
Right.
And then that cup of coffee in the morning, and I'm sitting there, and it's just kind of my time. And yes, I'm going over the morning paper, but it's a ritual.
Yeah.
That whole thing is
Absolutely.
starting the day ritual. Yeah. So when life feels like an emotional roller coaster, one of the things you can do is you can steady yourself with simple rituals. Okay, so, you know, for me, it's the shower and coffee. It might be getting up and making the bed for some people.
Yeah. Mine is meditating and then journaling.
Absolutely. Yeah. Every morning. And that involves me bringing you a cup of coffee so you can stay in, and that's become one of my rituals. You know, this doesn't have to be complex. I mean, a ritual could be after you eat, rinsing your bowl or your plate and your spoons.
Right.
You know, it's simplicity.
And I would add to kind of place it into current times, right? I mean, there's so much external chaos going on right now.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's, you know, one of the more important things for our own peace of mind and happiness in these times of chaos is to focus on what we can control.
Right.
And as creatures of habit, those habits and rituals are steadying for us.
It makes a difference. And again, I know we're spending a lot of time on this, but it makes a difference. When you take something simple like a shower and a first cup of coffee, and do I just do it, or do I tune in and am I doing it consciously?
Ooh.
Okay, so
Yep.
it's simplicity. It's really simplicity, but the simplicity is what attracts calmness and even wisdom.
Yes.
And so, it's the tuning in that is so important. And even
it's you bring up a good point, because it's so easy with our habitual rituals to just get caught in the motions,
to get unconscious of
right,
them.
and just let it happen.
But if I tune into that morning, I mean, nothing for me, just for me, nothing feels better than that shower in the morning. Like I said, gets the cobwebs out, gets the gets everything moving and grooving. And then that first cup of coffee, tastes so good, and it's so simple. And yet, if I'm tuning into it, I'm grateful. So I bring gratitude into the mix.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
Absolutely.
So another thing we can do is we can start filtering out the noise in your life. You've done a good job of this in the last year or so.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of like this is about who are you giving your stage to? We all have a stage, right?
Yes, we do.
And we all have a microphone. I mean, we might not have a physical microphone.
No.
But who are we?
In a spotlight, we're the directors.
Right. So who are we putting up on our stage and handing the microphone to? Right?
Right.
And so filter out the noise in your life by being very aware, very conscious about who you're putting up on stage and handing the mic to.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, I saw a billboard recently, and it said, "Live rent-free in their head."
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's what this is about.
Yeah.
One piece, big time.
Absolutely.
It's about who are you allowing to live in your head rent-free.
Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of times, I think the tendency is we just listen to the loudest voice,
Sure.
And so that loudest voice may or may not be
A helpful one.
the healthiest one for us, or even the truest one for us.
Right.
So the strategy is to filter out the noise in your life. You get to decide what that is. But instead of just listening to the loudest voice, we have in our heads a
volume control.
A volume control, right. And
Yep.
so if we have a microphone, if we have a stage and a spotlight, as you say, we also have the sound equipment in front of us.
Right.
We can turn, whoever we want to down. I love the old Peanuts comic, cartoons,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And
the adults.
in Peanuts, that you only heard the kids, right?
Right.
And all of the adults, when the adults spoke, right, wonk, 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 wonk,
Right.
wonk, wonk. Well, okay, we, believe it or not, we have the ability to do that.
Sure.
And many times we do that, and we're not even conscious that we're doing it. We're turning others down. But what if we get conscious and we, for our own peace of mind, we decide to filter out the excess noise in our lives.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Start choosing differently for your own well-being. So, again, we're talking about things to start, strategies to start for more happiness and peace of mind this evening. So start choosing differently for your own well-being. A big part of life is a result of the small choices
Yes.
that we make. And we make a lot of choices every day that we don't tune into, right?
Yeah, a simple choice, I'm thinking about a small choice we could do differently, is just setting your alarm 15 minutes early. Like, that makes a huge difference. This is something I can personally attest to because I've done it recently.
Yep.
I mean, I have set the alarm 15 minutes earlier with the intention of my meditation practice for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And so, really, I guess I've added 2 simple practices there.
Well, that's okay.
But
that's
it has...
pretty good stuff.
Yeah, but it's logarithmically increased my peace of mind because I'm starting the day with and in peace and with myself.
Yeah.
And it's a gift I give to myself every morning.
I love it. I love it. You know, there's a lot of busyness in our world.
You don't say.
I think you touched on that earlier. One of the things to start is to, instead of just being busy, start being a little more productive than you are busy. Because there's a difference. In fact, there's a big difference between being busy and being productive. You know, if you're gonna put the work into the day, right? Mm-hmm. Don't confuse motion with progress. A rocking horse keeps moving, but it never makes any forward progress.
And let me just add here too. You want us to be more productive and less busy, and I'm going to add in that rest is productive.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because
I think that's important to note.
It is important to note, and you know, it's okay to again give yourself periods of rest so that when production time comes,
and
you can be more productive.
And sometimes when you are being the most productive, it does not appear that you're busy at all.
Yeah. You know, I think Einstein said that some of his greatest aha moments came when he was
in those in-between lull moments.
Absolutely. So
resting.
There you go. Strategies today. Strategies for more happiness, more peace of mind. That's what we're talking about today here on Strategies for Living. And, you know, this stuff doesn't have to be hard. A lot of this stuff is very simple. And we just all, you know, we need to be reminded of it. We got more strategies for happiness, more happiness, and peace of mind in your life, in our lives. Who of us doesn't want that? We'll be back with more in just a moment here on Strategies for Living. Don't go away. Hey, let's talk about the Robinson Film Center, 617 Texas Street, downtown Shreveport. How many times do I say there is no place like Robinson Film Center?
You don't say it enough.
Well, no, I probably don't. And there is no place like the Robinson Film Center. I mean, you know, where do you go to see current movies that you're not going to see anyplace else? Well, Robinson Film Center. Find out what's showing at robinsonfilmcenter.org. And then you've got Abby Singer's Bistro, right? Full-service bistro and bar, second floor of the Robinson.
That's what I can't get enough of.
Oh, man. So, you know, here's what you want to do. You want to join the crowd, join the fun, become a member. You get discounts on movies, you get concession upgrades, you get bistro deals. RFC, 617 Texas Street, downtown Shreveport. RobinsonFilmCenter.org.
Reading begins not in the classroom, but in your child's brain. I'm Donisa Walker with LearningRx Shreveport. If your child struggles to read, maybe he or she has trouble focusing or comprehending, LearningRx Shreveport offers a science solution to reading problems, working one-on-one with your child, targeting his or her reading skills. Today, call LearningRx Shreveport. Make an appointment to have your child assessed. I know you want to help your child, so does LearningRx Shreveport.
And welcome back into 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Welcome back to Strategies for Living. Lauren Leon McMillan, David McMillan. We're talking about strategies for, and that makes sense because we're Strategies for Living. We're talking about strategies today for more happiness and peace of mind. Who doesn't want that? And, you know, so So let's move forward. What are some other ideas that we can strategize together, Lauren?
Well, so this one's similar to the last one we did, but I think it kind of expounds further.
Yeah.
And that is to start dedicating time every day to meaningful progress.
I like that word meaningful, right?
Yeah.
Because, again, we mentioned earlier, we are, man, are we doers, right?
Oh,
We're human
goodness.
doers more than we are human beings sometimes. We get caught up in the doing. But how much of what we do is actually, meaningful for us? How much of it really is stuff that at the end of the day, I say as I lay down, man, I'm glad I did blank and blank today.
Yeah.
Because those are the things that were meaningful to me.
And I would even challenge us to bring as much meaning as you can to a day. Meaning, like, even in those seemingly meaningless tasks, like washing the dishes.
Yeah.
Bring meaning to it. Bring meaning to it.
Okay, so let's talk about how we could do that. So if I'm a mundane task like washing the dishes,
Yes.
I can bring meaning to that by focusing in on what I'm doing.
Yep. Feeling
and
the water.
Feeling the water, feeling the sensations.
Playing with the bubbles like you used to as a kid.
Yeah.
Thanking the dishes, because without them you couldn't have eaten your food off of it, right?
Right. Well, I could have eaten my food, but it would have been messy, right?
Off of the plate.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
Being thankful for the running water.
Yeah, and being thankful that, I have this water and this soap to be able to clean the dishes and put them away so that I'll have them for the next day or the next time that I'm eating.
Even being thankful from future you's perspective that, wow, I've got a clean kitchen, right?
Yeah. I like that.
Okay. So another one, let's see, is to start moving towards things, not away from them.
Yeah. It sometimes, and again, this is about tuning in, isn't it? Sometimes we're not aware of how much and how often we get into a state of FEAR, right?
Yes.
And when we get into that state of fear, sometimes we freeze. And so we either fight or we flee or we freeze, right?
All of which stops that forward or moving into.
Right.
Right.
But again, how many times do we say, well, fear, FEAR, false expectations appearing real. And another FEAR is face everything and respond. When we do that, actually we are negating, we're drawing this big red line through fear.
Right.
Because if we're facing everything and responding to it, then, I may still have a feeling, but I'm making...
And you're moving into it.
I'm moving into it. Yeah, I'm moving towards it.
Which is, I think, if most of us will think back over our own, growth and development, however long it's been thus far.
Right.
Some of the most moments that we're most thankful for and we've grown the most from are those in which we faced our fears.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And one of my favorite reframes that I've gotten recently through my own journaling and meditating is, you like to use to see things differently.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And so one of my new favorite reframes is to see scared differently. Okay?
Okay.
Because if you see it differently, if you move the C in scared one letter over, you get the word sacred.
Oh.
Okay.
One
just
little,
one
letter.
letter. If you just move it over one letter, scared
becomes
sacred.
Oh.
Okay. And sacred just means whole and holy, right?
Yeah.
And so how can we see it different? How can we see what scares us as a sacred gift to bringing us closer to wholeness?
Yeah, I like that. You know, in Buddhism, they talk about right thinking and right action, right?
Yes.
So another strategy is to begin to decide, okay, well, and I'm using air quotes here. What's right? So, but right, what's right for one person may not be right for another person. So that's why the air quotes.
Yeah.
So start doing what's right, even if it's not the easiest option for you. Okay?
Okay.
Maybe an example of this would be helpful.
Yes.
We all have people in our lives, relationships in our lives that are draining to us, right?
Yes.
And, you know, some of those might even be family members, right? Some of them may be friends from a long time ago, and we just don't know how to, you know, back up a bit.
Yes.
But it's important for us to, again, who's up on that stage? Who are we giving the microphone to? Who are we shining the spotlight on?
Yeah.
And so to be very aware of that, you know.
Yeah, and so for someone who's more of a people pleaser, right? That might not be at all the easy thing to do.
Right.
And yet it might be the right thing for you.
That could be right action for me.
Right. Well, and you know, just like you said, there is no real right or wrong, but it's what's right.
It's a relative
for you.
thing. You get to decide. You get to pursue that. And of course, there's a lot of choices that you can. You know, one of them is, hey, I resonate with this church. You know, this creed. I like the way that they structure things. I like the things that they teach. And so for me, that feels right. So I move into that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I think a big practice there, if you don't know, is to really start tuning in to figure out what is right.
Yeah.
And to allow yourself to try. You won't know what's right for you if you don't try what could possibly be not right.
Right. If you're not curious, again, that we talk so much about remaining a curious student, you know, and okay, well, you know, I've been. We're just going to stay with the church thing, right?
Okay.
So I've grown up in this church, and I really haven't experienced any other ways of getting churched. Well, you know, that might be an interesting experience.
Absolutely.
It doesn't mean that you have to leave where you are.
Right.
You're just getting curious, and you're opening yourself up and learning about how other people do express, you know, awe and wonder. Because isn't that what we're doing in religion?
In connection, yeah.
Yeah, awe, wonder, and connection. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what else do I need to start doing?
I think maybe another one is to start comparing yourself to yourself and no one else.
See, and that's, I mean, I think this one is huge, Lauren. Because how often do we find ourselves just on autopilot and we're comparing? I compare myself to this person, that person, this other person. And, you know, sometimes I feel good about that. Sometimes I don't feel good about that.
And I want to put kind of an asterisk here. I do agree, you know, that first of all, it's apples to oranges no matter who you compare yourself to outside of yourself.
Right.
I mean, that is...
Because the bottom line is to grow yourself.
Right.
You don't grow anybody else. You're responsible for growing you. So if you're comparing yourself to somebody else, you're not looking where you need to look, which is within yourself.
Absolutely. Right.
How am I doing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because I can't really, all I can do is I can give information to other people that I'm in relationship with, but I can't really change anybody else.
No, not at all.
But the place of power is within me.
That's why it's called empowerment, perhaps.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah. So start comparing yourself to yourself and nobody else.
Yeah, and the thing that I did want to asterisk here is, to be gentle and kind in your comparison.
Absolutely.
Internally.
Yeah.
Okay, because moment to moment we have shifts, right? And I also fully believe progress is never linear, right?
Well, in any kind of learning, in any kind of growth, I mean, let's just go back to walking. I mean,
right.
if when we as little humans begin to walk, it's a given that we're going to have some falls. Number one, why is there so much baby fat on our little legs, right? And in addition to that, we put those big old diapers on, so little padding there doesn't hurt, right?
Right.
So we're talking about strategies this evening. We're talking about who doesn't want more happiness and peace of mind. So we're talking about strategies that help us get there. And again, all of these that we're talking about, there's no magic here.
No.
Yeah. There's no these are.
Well, but there is magic in the habitual that grows over time.
Yeah.
It can appear that way, for sure.
I love the word synergy. The whole is greater than the sum of the parts. So a lot of these strategies are the parts.
Yes.
We put them together, and we might see some real growth. Strategies for more happiness and peace of mind. That's what we're focusing on this evening here on Strategies for Living. Come back with us. We have more. It's been going on for 101 years now. I'm talking about the Shreveport Little Theater. Been enriching our lives through the performing arts and education and opportunities to volunteer service guided by professional artists. They've been at it a long time. And up next, beautiful, the Carole King musical is the summer musical this year. And have you seen the 24-25 season? My goodness. Neil Simon's Brighton Beach memoirs, Steel Magnolias, It's a Wonderful Life, Doubt, I Love You, You're Perfect Now, Change, and then May We All, a new country musical. You need to get your season tickets right now. ShreveportLittleTheater.com. It is American theater at its best at 812 Margaret Place in Shreveport. Shreveport Little Theater. ShreveportLittleTheater.com. And welcome back. Welcome back into 101.7 FM and 710 Keel. Welcome back into Strategies for Living. Lauren Leon McMillan, David McMillan, and we are talking strategies this evening. Strategies for more happiness and peace of mind. Who doesn't want that? So we've talked about, rituals, just simple rituals. We've talked about filtering out noise in your life. We've talked about choosing differently for your own well-being. We've talked about, being a little more productive than you are busy. We've talked about dedicating time every day to meaningful progress. We've talked about moving toward things and not away from things, and doing what's right for us, even if it's not the easiest option, and then comparing ourselves. We start comparing yourself to yourself instead of to somebody else. And so strategies for more happiness and peace of mind here on Strategies for Living. All right, what's next up?
Okay, I like this one a lot. Start being more tolerant of those who see things differently.
We're in a cycle.
Aren't we?
We are in a time that, and these times. I'm not talking about. I mean, it's going to intensify over this election cycle and in this election period. But we've been in this, right? Mm-hmm. And I think there's a number of things that have contributed to this, not the least of which is social media, right?
Sure.
It's so easy to, take the pot shots, right? Mm-hmm. Over the social media. And, but are we being tolerant when we do that? If that were a friend or an acquaintance that sees something differently from me, how might I approach that? Instead of getting peeved off and shooting out a sarcastic post or text, I might, with a friend, say, help me understand how you got there. Help me understand what you're seeing about this situation that maybe I'm not seeing.
Right.
Yeah.
I just want to see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the difference between I don't do it that way and I never thought to do it that way.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I know that's a simple, but it can really be applied broadly to everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And truly, if we do want more tolerance, it really starts, as with everything, within. And I think it starts with being more tolerant with yourself.
Yeah.
I think the great intolerance and judgment and criticism that we are seeing a lot of in the world today screams to me of
the intolerance we have with ourselves. Yeah.
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 That we're uncomfortable with ourselves and with our beings.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's where that's where we have all the control and power. So why not start there?
Good place to start.
I've talked with clients a lot recently about that, about how can we be more gentle? How can we bring more compassion to the table? Because anytime we judge or criticize ourselves or anyone else, it just stops progress. It completely stops everything.
And it doesn't feel good. It again, what we're talking about this evening, it wrecks our happiness and it certainly affects our peace of mind.
No, it brings our peace to pieces.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. I like it. All right, what's another strategy?
I like this one too. Start letting grace have the last word.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's amazing grace, isn't it?
How great it is.
How great it is. Yeah, that's something I learned today. The root word for grace.
Yeah.
It's the same one as in great. Like
Grace
grateful,
and great.
Like gratitude.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So the great in gratitude. Mm-hmm. Grateful. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Start giving without any expectation back.
Oh. And this is not just things, okay?
Yep.
This is ideas, this is invitations, this is, words, ideas, and things. Give without expectations.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, because again, we can't control what others do.
No, we've only...
Give for the sake of giving.
Yeah, because it makes me feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was it, Gandhi, that said, be the change? Mm-hmm. Be the change you want to see in the world?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this next one is, start being the difference you want to see in the world. What do you want to see in the world? Well, a lot of us right now, a lot of people are saying, we want our leaders to be more tolerant of each other.
Again.
And we want them to compromise and work together. Well,
that starts within.
How about us being that with others around us? Yeah.
Well, and it even starts even smaller and more within than that. How can you be the tolerant leader of yourselves? Because we all have these internal parts running around, right?
We all have multiple parts, yes.
And we
doesn't mean that we're schizophrenic or that we're going nuts or anything like that. It's just that as we grow and develop, there are parts of us that are going to develop that are counter to other parts that develop later on.
Right.
And those parts can end up fighting each other.
Yeah.
Inside of us.
Absolutely. And it's about becoming the fearless and tolerant leader that we wish to see in the world, first within our own inner world, by welcoming all of our parts and being tolerant of all our parts.
We're not going to throw any of them away because they're all part of us.
I'm going to be tolerant and accepting even of my anxiety.
Yeah.
Right? Because I know it's just there to protect me.
It's there. It's trying to help me.
And my job as a tolerant and peaceful, peace-seeking leader is to bring it in and say, hey, anxiety, how can we work together towards a goal that we both want?
This will be the last one that we're going to be able to get to, but it's a good one to stop our start zone.
Okay.
Start being more present. Mm-hmm. We have a lot of gadgets in our world. We have a lot of gadgets around us, right? Mm-hmm. And if we aren't careful, they begin to control us instead of us controlling them. So put down the phone when you're in, a social relationship. Be present. How can I be more present? Many times when we're at the dinner table and I pick up my phone, you do what you just did. Do it again.
It's nice to have you here.
And I'm glad we're eating together. And then, I'm looking down and I'm, I've got my phone in my hand and I'm, okay, time to, maybe time to readjust here. Hopefully the phone goes down.
Hopefully.
Start being more present. We're talking strategies for more happiness and peace of mind. We all want that. And
we all need that.
And we all need it today, especially. Here on Strategies for Living. We'll be right back. You're going to see the difference. When you go to Azalea Cleaners, you'll hear about it too. Azalea Cleaners has been fine dry cleaning since 1958, plus laundry, alterations and repairs, comforters, wedding gown cleaning and restoration. You'll hear about it from your friends because they'll see it too. They'll notice the Azalea difference. Azalea is convenient. 732 Azalea Drive, 9220 Ellerby Road, and 9227 Mansfield Road. Plus, the front door of your home or business with Azalea's delivery on demand. Just text SETUP to 249-8283, and Azalea will pick up your clothes and deliver them back clean and fresh to you. You can't get closer than that. That's the Azalea difference. You'll notice it right away. Others will too. The Azalea difference. Fine dry cleaning since 1958. Text SETUP to 249-8283 and get the Azalea difference. AzaleaCleaners.com. So, welcome back. Welcome back into 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Welcome back into Strategies for Living. Lauren Leon McMillan, David McMillan, talking today about strategies for more happiness and more peace of mind. Man, we can use this today. How many of us don't want this? What stood out for you, Lauren, in terms of the strategy? I think we got to about 13 of them today. What stood out for you in the strategies that we've talked about today?
Well, I think the big one for me is the one actually we ended on, and maybe one of the earlier ones. So it's to be present, and I would couple that with bring meaning as much as you can into each present moment.
Yeah.
I mean, those two alone can radically shift our world.
Yeah, and again, you could take, and we talked about this at the beginning of the program, but you don't have to this is just kind of like walking down a buffet line.
Right.
Okay, well, you don't have to take it all on your plate, but what resonates with you that we've talked about? If you just chose one or two of them and said, for the next 66 days, for the next 9 or so weeks, I'm going to make a conscious effort to do this and this. I wonder what kind of difference that might make. What would life feel like? Would it, at the end of 9 weeks or so, would you say, hey, I realize that I'm a little happier, and I certainly realize I've got a little bit more peace of mind. That'd be pretty cool.
That would be. And anything you practice, you get better at.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, folks, thank you for being here with us and for practicing with us. I hope you do this often and pass it on. We're here to hopefully help all of us move through life and gain more happiness and peace of mind. And we appreciate our sponsors making it possible. The Robinson Film Center and Azalea Cleaners and Learning RX and Pintail Roofing and Hempress Cannabis with Love and the Shreveport Little Theater. If today were the last day of your life, you only had one more phone call that you could make, who would you call? What would you say? And why are you waiting? Make the call. For Lauren Leon McMillan, I'm David McMillan. See you next time right here on Strategies for Living.